or our participating sponsors.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Every day you're walking by and I can see how you shine. Here I am alone with nothing but a dream that you are mine. Just exactly what I'll do, I don't know, baby, but I gotta find a way to reach you. Tell me what I gotta do to get to your house. Tell me where I gotta go to be with you. Tell me what I gotta say to speak to your heart. Tell me what I need to know tonight.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The Audio Genius.
Get in on the conversation with Rufus Williams and the Morning Show at 591-1690. We are the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Good morning, everybody, and good Thursday morning. It is the 23rd of April, the year 2026. It's the Rufus Williams Show, and I am Rufus Williams, and as always, thrilled, excited, and truly delighted to be here with you this morning, and so appreciative of you for waking up with Rufus. Annette Titus, let me ask you a question. There's a lot going on in the world, but have you ever had a close friend that you didn't talk to for a number of years and then eventually got back together?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
This thing, Michael and Charles are finally talking again. And, it just makes me reflect because I've had the same thing. And when it happens, you move on, but you do miss your friend. So it's good to hear that they're reconnecting.
Yeah, I agree. Time heals, and over time you forget and time changes you. So something that bothered you in the past over time may not bother you on that level, or you've developed a way of coping with it, or you have just had forgiveness in your heart. So it happens.
And Titus, in your situation, were you able to forget and forgive and move forward, or did this thing just still sit there in the back of your head?
No, actually, I forgave and forgot about it. I mean, we've been really good friends, and we both talked about it. It was like, man, this was stupid of us to go this long without talking to each other or spending time with each other, because when you get a little older, you realize some things are just not as serious as they were back then. So, yeah, we're definitely still really good friends today.
Yeah, and I think Titus made the key point, because even Michael and Charles said, or at least Charles said this, we haven't really heard from Michael, but they're both 63 now. And in Charles' talk, he says, putting it in golf parlance, we're on the back nine. I hope I'm closer to 9 or 10, and not more close to 17 or 18. But you start to really put life in context and recognize it's truly, at the end of it, a lot of the relationships that really matter and how they came together. So it's good, finally, folks can stop talking about the breakup and begin to talk about them getting back together. So that's good news. That's good
That's
news.
great news. And also these two millionaires, Michael Jordan, probably billionaire, they travel in the same circles and they have some of the same friends. So although all these years they've been apart and not speaking to each other in some kind of way, they probably still, there's some bleed over because they have, some of the same friends.
Yeah, and they'll certainly benefit from being back together again because they do. There are only so many people who can do certain things, and Charles and Michael kind of fit those molds. And being able to be together and away from folks is really, really good. I'll say this: I first met Charles Barkley at an airport in Dallas after the season was over, and was walking behind me, and I just felt this big figure at the luggage checkout. And when I turned around and recognized who it was, we do have a mutual friend. So we started talking. And when people on the other side recognized who it was, they started coming over. And Mike Wilbon is the mutual friend we have. But I called Mike and said, Mike, Charles is about the nicest dude I have ever met. He was just as gracious and generous to each and every person who came over. And it was really late one night down in the Dallas airport. So I think through it all, this will be, and Charles's thing is this: Charles doesn't know how not to tell his opinion. And it harmed Michael's, Michael didn't think much of what he thought when he talked about Michael's ability to put together a basketball team. So I'm sure they're going to talk, they're going to laugh, and they'll move on because in spite of what may have happened on the court, Michael bought into the Charlotte Hornets, then Bobcats, and sold it at multiples of what he bought in at. So depending on how you look at it, I think it turned out okay for him. Yeah, he's to Annette's point. He's a billionaire now. So, and a lot of that has to do with the Jordan brand, but a lot more has to do with the sale of that team. So good. The boys are getting back together. Maybe someday we'll all get on the golf course. Yeah, right. Look, there's a lot going on. We got a lot going on the show today, as is usual, and I'm happy to have my first guest join. Pam Oliver, you know her. She's been here before. She was here last year. Does a really remarkable thing for everyone in the community that helps because Pam had a loss of immeasurable proportions, which is losing her daughter. Pam, good morning and welcome back to WVON.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you and your team. And thank you again for just allowing me to come on and share a story and share an opportunity for your listeners to give back and really, really make a difference in the lives of those who are in need of blood transfusions. And you never know when you're going to be in a situation, whether or not it's an accident or an illness and any other number of conditions where you might need a blood transfusion. So thank you for allowing me to address such an important opportunity to give back in a special way.
No, thank you for doing it. And to your point, we hear sirens, we see emergency vehicles, and very often at the end of that, someone needs some care, and blood is always involved because that's what helps to make it work for us. If you would, Pam, let's begin here. Tell us about Kristen.
Kristen was one of my shining lights. I have three children, and she was my middle child, and her life and legacy, it lives on through just everything that I try to do for the community. And she's living her best life, 27 years old. And when I say living her best life, she was truly living it. She loved giving back. She loved sharing whatever her resources would be if someone was in need. She lived in Charlotte and she would commute to Chicago to see family or to Texas to see other family. And she started out with I'm going to say just a simple, earache that, we thought, oh, earache, sinus issues, getting infection. And it may have turned into or an early sign of what doctors discovered was a cardiac carcinoma, a cancer of the heart. And it went on for several months, and she worked out, and she thought, maybe this has something to do with, working out and pressure. I'm just going back to some things that she shared with me. But 6 months later, she had what they call a cardiac event, which was basically a heart attack. And her friend discovered her. She wasn't feeling well, discovered she had passed out. They rushed her to the emergency room, and I just remember that day so well, December of 2017. And they treated her as a very, very rare condition with the heart that a lot of women, either going through childbirth, will experience. And when she went to the hospital and did all these tests, they just treated her for basically a heart condition with nitro tablets and just had her going into cardiac rehab. Well, 6 months after that, she got a fever. Okay, we were all together celebrating my granddaughter's birthday in Texas, and she got a fever. And I said, call your doctor, because you never know since you have this heart condition. Well, about 4 months later, they discovered that she had this mass over her heart, which turned out to be this rare condition. So that's when this journey, this heartbreaking journey began, because not a lot of research is being done, obviously, on sarcomas, but this cardiac sarcoma is just a deadly condition. And we didn't know what was going to happen, but she had to have regular transfusions, blood transfusions. And it was a situation that no parent or husband, wife, family member wants to see another go through, but people are going through this all the time. They go through chemo and they need blood transfusions. And that was our journey for about 2 years until she passed away. And she had actually moved to, once it could do no more, when she was in Charlotte, she moved to Texas, where we have a lot of family. And MD Anderson was doing the most research on this condition. And she was surviving. They were doing immunotherapy. And the rest is just the story that I share with people because of the need. And I do this because of the condition that she had, and anyone that's going through cancer treatment or immunotherapy, and they need transfusions.
Thanks for sharing that. I know how difficult it is to relive it, but you're doing some real work that tries to help others who may have this situation or may have any situation try to come from it. And it's such a way to have a memorial to the life of someone you care about so greatly. We'll tell you about the 6th annual Kristen Ariel Oliver Memorial Blood Drive when we come back right after this.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris-Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there. WVON.
It's D.L. Hughley.
Nick Cannon's logic is as weak as his okay. Everybody fucking knew that Republicans freed the slaves. Everybody knew it. The last time he did something for black people was 163 years ago. You got to update your resume. Have a 5-year gap on your resume and see if it's valid. When Republicans did that, Hawaii wasn't a state. If you're going to talk about the greatest of a policy that helped black people out, it should at least be sometime after the fucking moon landing.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The Chicago Urban League is holding its first ever West Side Health and Wellness Fair. It's called Thrive, and it's focused on helping West Side families achieve their best health with a range of free resources right in the community. Engage with vendors, get free health screenings for the entire family, healthy cooking demonstrations, nutrition tips, mini massages, line dancing, discussion on chronic diseases, mental health and dementia, learn about financial wellness resources, and there will be activities for the kids. Enjoy free refreshments and a chance to win free prizes. West Side Thrive is Saturday, May 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 2 p.m. at the Chicago Jesuit Academy, 5058 West Jackson Boulevard. And it's free and open to the public. That's Saturday, May 2nd, 10 a.m. at 5058 West Jackson Boulevard in Chicago. Chicago Urban League Thrive partners Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Alpha Beta Delta Omega Chapter, and Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Rho Zeta Lambda Chapter. Register for Thrive at chideul.org. That's chiul.org.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-575-8935. 800-575-8935. That's 800-575-8935.
It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by the Hartford Auto Insurance. Wait until you hear this. You could save hundreds by switching to AARP Auto Insurance from the Hartford. Visit trusthartford.com. The Hartford, your protection is their passion. The Hartford Insurance Group, Inc. pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are non-insurers. Savings vary.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Wait until you hear these high travel times. The inbound Ryan, a 26-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Ryan along Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, already 21 minutes in from I-80. The Bishop Ford, 17-minute trip in from I-80-94. Also, we are getting a report of an accident in Palos Heights. It's at the intersection of Harlem and 135th Street. DuSable Lakeshore Drive active early this morning. 67th Street to Jackson, already a 17-minute trip. Hollywood to Monroe, 16. You're looking at 52 minutes along the inbound Stevenson from I-355 to DuSable Drive. You want to factor in a crash at Cicero. Outbound just fine for now. The inbound side of the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 57 minutes, 35 on the outbound trip. And the inbound Kennedy, already a 50-minute trip in from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport, a slow-moving 57 minutes. Taking a look at our weather, we're already seeing some bright skies. The National Weather Service says we're in store for a warm day today as temperatures climb right around 80. We're up to 57 at Midway. It's 57 in Chatham and 57 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flornoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. So sorry about those long travel times, but it gives people a chance to listen to us a little bit more. So we'll just continue to try to give them some good information. We're talking with Pam Oliver. She shared the really troubling, tragic, unfortunate story of her daughter and what happened to her, and now the work she's doing to try to help others in the space of blood donations. Pam, talk to us about the blood drive that's happening this weekend.
Absolutely. And you know what I've been saying for the last several years, and 6 years, as you mentioned, but it's more than a blood drive. The partners that we have all have an opportunity to share the work they're doing. Now, let me just point out a really important fact here. Did you know that someone needs blood every 2 seconds? We're not just talking trauma, accidents. We're talking people who are going through dialysis, needing a blood transfusion. Cancer, I talked about that. Individuals that have other chronic conditions, sickle cell anemia, They need constant transfusion sometimes when they go into crises. Those are individuals that have the disease. So we partner with the Sickle Cell Anemia Foundation of Illinois. We've partnered with the top ladies of distinction who have a message all year long addressing sickle cell disease and the need for transfusions. We're talking about so many conditions that we brought those partners together. NBC Chicago helps us get the word out. Rich Township is now one of our new partners because we want to expand our reach. We want to talk about those conditions that take an individual that force them go to the hospital, and chronic conditions that could be controlled, things like hypertension, glucose. So we'll be doing that this year as well, doing screening. So it's more than a blood drive. It's an opportunity to allow individuals who may have limited resources, Cook County Health coming in, also doing HIV. We don't talk about HIV too much unless it's in the news because some person is criminally charged because they knew they had it and they spread it to someone else. So these are all opportunities to come in, to get screenings, to get testing, to learn about navigating the healthcare system. Dr. Robin Sneed is joining us this year, a physician who has been in medicine, working in medicine as a physician for almost 40 years. And as insurance changes, and how do you navigate the system when you go in to see a doctor? What are the questions you should be asking? So it's more than a blood drive. And I'm extremely excited to be able to share those resources with the community and maybe set an example for other communities, little old people like me, what you can do to make a difference.
Indeed. I'm looking at the statistics you've shared, and it says only 3% of people are contributing blood when so many more people need it for all the reasons you've just described. This is only happening on one day, unfortunately, but it's happening. And folks can come out and really participate, learn something, give something, and really make the world better. Tell us where and when this event takes place.
Absolutely. And I just want to make this point that a lot of people don't think about when you donate, you as one person, you go in and you're helping 3 individuals. And when they talk about a critical blood shortage, which is moving into summer, which is that time, we have enough blood. Hospitals have enough blood for a day or less. So think about when you go in, if you come to us on this Saturday, from 10:30 a.m. to 2:45. You can make an appointment going through Versity. I work with Versity blood centers. You can make an appointment, which I suggest you do, or just go to Versity, the website, and I'll make sure that your team will have the number as well in case somebody calls in. And donate blood. And guess what? We're out in the south suburbs. This year we're in Olympia Fields, as we are always, but I think we're going to end up having to get a larger venue. When you come in, I'm serious, it's just growing. And my partners, every time they come new and old,
I love it.
I think you're going, now that is right. But it's at Sergeant Means Park, which is at 200, right off of 207th and Western. We'll be inside. For several years, we were outside. We'll have music. We'll have raffles. We'll have some of my old colleagues said they were going to stop by. Some resources are available. The Center for Food Equity and Medicine, which I didn't mention, will also be there. We help individuals. I volunteer. I say we help individuals who are going through cancer treatment and providing nutritional support and food. So guess what? Even if you can't donate blood, you can come in with a gift card for a grocery store gift card or pasta, paper towels, but just please come and support. See what we're doing. See how your life can change a life and make a difference. That's Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. in Olympia Fields. Come on out and say hello and just do what you can do to make a difference, and you can.
Indeed. The Sergeant Means Park. It is the 6th annual Kristen Ariel Oliver Memorial Blood Drive. Go out, give, get, and let's continue to make it happen. And you are going to need a bigger place because without a doubt, you're going to have more sponsors and you're going to get more done. This is such a wonderful legacy to your daughter. And thank you so much for making this happen for so many people your loss becomes everyone else's gain, which keeps her living even beyond the time that we've had her here with us. Pam, always appreciate you, always appreciate the work that you're doing, and thank you so much for coming on and making the announcement here on WVON.
Absolutely. Will you come out? Will you just come out and, like, even if you can't donate blood, show your face, let me introduce you. Come on out to the South Suburbs.
As it turns out, this Saturday I am doing the Alzheimer's Release the Silence event. Otherwise, I would absolutely be there, and our event ends at 2:00. But I will be there in spirit. Just know that, and at some point we're going to make it happen. All right, Pam. Be well. Thanks.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thanks. Thank you. Let's find out from Annette what's going on in the news. When we come back, I got more for you. We're just getting started. We'll be back right after this.
59 degrees turning sunny and 80. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. Looks like Illinois lawmakers are a step closer to a possible deal to keep the Chicago Bears in the state now that the House passed the so-called mega projects bill. Perry Williams has more.
The Democratic-run House voted to pass the mega projects bill 78-32 yesterday, and State Representative Cam Buckner is content.
It's something that we've been looking for a long time, to not just incentivize folks, but to make Illinois competitive. And the best part is that we get to do that while still offering relief to the people who live in this state.
The measure would allow the Bears to negotiate property tax payments directly with Arlington Heights officials. The bill now moves to the state Senate. I'm Perry Williams.
Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is celebrating a success over the Trump administration. He announced that the lawsuits his office filed challenging unlawful overreach by the federal government allows Illinois to keep more than $8 billion for clerical programs and services across the state. He says his office has filed 63 lawsuits challenging the actions of the Trump administration since January 2025, with 93% having received a decision in the state's favor. Well, Illinois is fighting to curb high insurance rates. Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias spoke with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh yesterday about the impact it's having on residents in Illinois. WVON's Logan Page has that story.
Giannoulias highlighted concerns about affordability and the need for solutions.
When was the last time you saw a 76-year-old gunning it past you at 100 miles an hour while they're checking their TikTok? And yet seniors are being hit by these premium increases. So we've got a bill out there that's passed the House. We need people's support to help us pass this bill in the Senate. The bill does a few things. First of all, it stops surprise premium hikes with 60 days notice before increases over 10%. It requires rates to be fair, reasonable, non-discriminatory. It gives the Department of Insurance finally some power to review questionable filings and hold companies accountable, just like 48 other states already do, by the way. And it requires insurance companies to issue rebates if they overcharge customers. And finally, it prevents Illinois families from paying for disasters that are happening in other states.
Giannoulias emphasized the need for public awareness and support in addressing insurance cost concerns. He is calling on the public to get involved as the issue continues to develop. Logan Page, Our News Now, WVON 1690 AM.
And you don't want to miss WVON's Night at the Jackie Wilson Story. Tomorrow, Friday, April 24th, at the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark Street. This outstanding history-making production delivers a soulful tribute to Mr. Excitement. That's a look at Our News Now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVO News Time, 7:34.
Thank you, Barack and Michelle Obama, for bringing your gift to the world home to Chicago. The Obama Presidential Center, coming Juneteenth weekend. Witness a celebration of the power of hope and possibility. We're WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Smart conversations with smart people makes us smarter. And that's exactly what you get on Bound and Woven with Rufus Williams. This isn't surface level talk. This is where authors become experts, where books become blueprints, and where ideas are challenged, not just discussed. From Colin Woodard on Nations Apart, to Gloria J. Brown Marshall breaking down the history of protests in America, to Gary Tyler sharing a story of resilience and redemption and stitching free. These are not interviews. These are conversations that matter because every book has a story and every story has a deeper meaning. Bound and Woven with Rufus Williams on Bond TV. You can catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, and VON.TV.
Before Hot Winds. Ooh, let's heat things up. Get fired up with Hot Winds, a new game from the Illinois Lottery. Learn how to play at IllinoisLottery.com. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
It's Matt McGill.
Matt, we did want to give you a little how do you do today from McGuire. How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do? How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do? You may think you're upper class, but you're just a horse's. How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do?
Thank you, guys.
McGuire, you're welcome.
Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The movement for repair is growing. From city halls to parliaments and around the world, from Chicago to Cape Town, from Evanston to the UN, I'm Robin Rusin.
And I'm Cam Howard. Together we're bringing you Reparations Now, where we talk power, policy, and progress, local, national, and international.
It's about justice.
It's about repair. It's about time.
Reparations now, because justice cannot wait.
Reparations Now, Saturdays at 4 p.m., only on WVON 1690.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. The only thing better than grabbing a Blizzard treat on a warm, sunny day will be snagging a second one for just 99 cents with the Blizzard Double Flip deal. It's buy one Blizzard treat, get another one for just 99 cents when you order in the DQ app. DQ, happy, tastes good, for a limited time at participating U.S. locations.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
Looking at a new accident on the inbound side of the Ryan right there at Marquette. Apparently it's a car and a semi there. Traffic pretty heavy right there at Marquette. Right now your travel time there just shot up on the Ryan, just shot up to 32 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. The Bishop Ford now 20 minutes in from I-80-94 to the Ryan. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial still at 21 minutes in from I-80. Along the Cobble Drive, 67, slightly heavier along the Stevenson, 55 minutes in from I-355 to DuSable Drive. Outbound now a 40-minute trip. Much heavier along the Eisenhower now. Thorndale to the Burns Circle, just jumped to an hour 5, traveling out in 55 minutes. And in Kennedy now almost 55 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport, slow moving hour 5. Taking a look at our weather, we're expected to see some clear skies today and some sunshine on the breezy side as temperatures climb near 80. Tonight, 50. Right now, we're at 59 at Midway. It's 59 in Austin and 59 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Fernnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams. WVON.
Working me too hard. I wasn't looking forward to doing this.
But anyway, what type of pages? They've got, when I say pages, they're like, of course, donuts, all type, and I know the pages. I trust you. Now, I usually put me like commotion.
Welcome back. I just mentioned as we think about the blood donation, the blood drive that Pam Oliver just told us about, a lot goes on, and this is certainly a time that it should all happen because there's a lot going on in our community. I will be with the Alzheimer's Association on Saturday at the UIC Forum as they do their annual Release the Silence event. We have joining us this morning to talk more about that, Alva Kennedy. Alva is just a powerhouse professionally, having done a number of things, helping corporations, helping nonprofits. But beyond that, for 6 years, she dealt with a parent who was dealing with Alzheimer's. Pam, good morning. I'm sorry, Alva, good morning and welcome to WVON.
We lost to Rufus.
We lost Alva, so let me talk to you while we wait for her to come back on. The Alzheimer's Association has been doing the Release the Silence event. This will be the 4th annual, and I've been there, I think, for maybe all of them, maybe just 3. Hopefully it's been all of them. This is an opportunity. This Alzheimer's and dementia affects so many people, and you're hard-pressed to find anyone who hasn't been impacted by it. So what their intent is really to think about those who are giving care to people who are dealing with this disease. It lasts for some for many years. For some, it's an unfortunate, a short period. But in all these cases, we need to have community to try and help deal with it. And so often when we watch someone who we've known for so long diminish in such a way as Alzheimer's and dementia does, it just becomes extraordinarily difficult, extraordinarily exhausting as we just watch someone who we've known so well not know us as well anymore. What the Release the Silence event does is try to help us have more resources, have more understanding, have more community around what all of that is. I've been really honored to be one who can help to drive the day, help to direct how we bring forth the people with a lot of knowledge on the stage, more direction to those who are providing resources at the resource fair that's there as well. This year's event will be a little different. If you've been there before, we've been out at the Kroc Center. We have been at the Greenwood Oasis. This year we will be at the UIC Forum right there at Roosevelt and Halsted. And all of the things, because of the way the forum is set up, will be right there in the location. So even if you're visiting with some folks at the resource booth, you still have an opportunity to hear the conversation that's taking place because it'll all be right there in the same space. A number of wonderful sponsors have gotten involved with this event as it continues to go and grow. And we hope that you will come out and join, and particularly those who are dealing with the issues of Alzheimer's, dealing with the issues of dementia, and being caretakers or helping caretakers to do so. One of the things that we have learned over all of this time is that while we certainly recognize the need to help those who are dealing with the disease, we've really got to take care of the caretakers. And the work, the exhaustion, the time, the financial impact, all those things that it has on one who is caring for someone else, particularly with this kind of decline, is really needed. And so in Releasing the Silence, what we're really doing is working hard to try and bring more people into that knowledge, into that process, into the engagement of what it takes to be a caretaker and how you do that. Alva, good morning and welcome to WVON.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
No, it's good to have you. I was just, I was riffing while we were waiting to get your connection back. But I would talk about your journey and your engagement, your involvement, and how Alzheimer's has affected you and your family.
So my mom had a 6-year journey with Alzheimer's. Interestingly enough, no one in our family had ever had Alzheimer's. So I wasn't familiar with the signs, the symptoms, how the disease progresses. Those in my family who have been ill, it's been more physical illnesses. And so there were signs, I'm just going to be honest, that we missed. And then I started to notice that she was really forgetful. This was around 2019, and her doctor, I'm the only child, so her doctor called and had some concerns and was like, we really think we need to get your mom evaluated. So we got her evaluated, and that's when we got our diagnosis. It was January of 2020 where I got the results back that they said she had Alzheimer's. And so started doing some research on the disease, but really didn't necessarily know what to do, which way to turn. And then we hit a turning point. My mom didn't live far from us. She had started taking Alzheimer's medication, and one day she accidentally overdosed on her Alzheimer's medication. And she thought she had taken her medicine for the day, and I guess she didn't realize she had done it earlier. And so we needed to take her to the hospital. They admitted her, and then our lives changed like within 24 hours. They were like, she can no longer live by herself. Like the actual disease had progressed so quickly. Wow. So we moved her in. I'm married and I have a little boy, and we just moved things around, and we never took her back home. So we cared for her for 2 years. Alzheimer's is more than a notion. So I was learning as I was going. The disease continued to progress. Over time, we placed her in memory care because also my son got sick. And this was all during COVID. So her diagnosis came in January, and everything shut down from COVID in March of 2020. And her hospitalization that caused her to need to move in with us happened March 7th. And as you know, the world shut down on the 21st. So we were navigating COVID, Alzheimer's, and all the things. So when I found the Alzheimer's Association was amazing during my journey. And so I was on their website and I saw the Release the Silence conference, and I'm like, I need to go. And so in 2024, I went to my first conference, and it was everything for me. It was community. It was resources. I took my cousin with me because she was helping with my mom's care. And that made such a difference. After the conference, I literally tackled almost the coordinator and was like, how can I get involved? Because it was the first place that I went where I felt understood in that journey. Meeting people, seeing resources, it meant so much. And it gave me a sense of community that I was longing for as I was going through the process.
I am so sorry about all that impacted your mom and your family, but wow, I'm glad to hear that this conference has done what it's done, because I know that's exactly what the people at the Alzheimer's Association were hoping to do there. And just to think about the impact this had so greatly, it's just it's challenging, but it's good that you found something there, and it's good that you're back to help share with others what the journey is. We'll talk with Alva Kennedy. She is an amazing woman on so many fronts, talking about the Alzheimer's Association Release the Silence Conference happening this Saturday at the UIC Forum. We'll have more on the conference and with Alva when we come back right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region, and more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work. Because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/meetingthemoment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon right here on WVON WVON 1690, the talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
Hi, this is Jill Ross, creator and producer of the Chicago Read-In. I'm excited to join WVON for this cultural experience that is designed to excite and stimulate the minds of young people ages 6 to 16. Join us Saturday, April 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 South King Drive at 12 noon for an amazing show that will keep young people and their parents on the edges of their seats. From dance to music to mime to art to rich creative storytelling, there is literally no program like the one we've put together that offers a cultural lens while igniting the minds of young people. The Chicago Read-In is free, but you must register at Eventbrite or WVON.com. We'll see you Saturday, April 25th. The Chicago Read-In is produced in conjunction with Vine TV series Turn the Page, which premieres this summer.
The Chicago Read-In is powered by ComEd.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got a major announcement coming Monday, April 27th. I'll give you a hint. Maybe not. Okay, if you insist. Got luggage? We're WVON.
Beauty is more than style, it's a story, and now you get to hear it straight from the source. Solo Beauty Supply presents the Hair Tour radio show, coming to WVON Saturdays beginning May 2nd at 2 p.m. From Chicago to the West Coast, top salon owners pull back the curtain on the business, the culture, and the grind behind the chair. From building brands to shaping communities, this is where beauty meets boss moves. Tune in, tap it, and take notes. The Hair Tour radio show, Saturdays beginning May 2nd at 2 p.m. only on WVON.
This report is brought to you by the Hartford Auto Insurance. Wait until you hear this. You could save hundreds by switching to AARP Auto Insurance from the Hartford. Visit trusthartford.com. The Hartford, your protection is their passion. The Hartford Insurance Group, Inc. pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are non-insurers. Savings vary.
WVON traffic and weather now.
A lot happening now along the inbound Ryan. That earlier accident still in play at 67th Street involving a car and a semi. Traffic heavy right around there. Then again at 35th Street, you do want to look out for a disabled vehicle. It's off to the right shoulder. All of this making your inbound travel time from 95th Street into downtown 33 minutes. Give yourself 20 along the Bishop 4 from I-80-94 to the Ryan. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial still moving along at about that 21-minute trip from I-80. 67th Street to Jackson now bumped up to an 18-minute trip. Hollywood to Monroe, 18 as well. The Stevenson, much heavier now, an hour from I-355 to DeSable Drive, outbound 50 minutes. The Eisenhower bumped up to an hour 7 from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, outbound, a 56-minute trip. You do want to factor in an accident. It's off to the left shoulder at Mill Road. The Kennedy in from O'Hare to downtown, still just about 55 minutes, but getting to the airport, a slight improvement, but still barely moving at an hour. Taking a look at our weather, turning sunny and pleasant today. And on the breezy side of things, the National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high of around 80, tonight 50. We're up to 60 at O'Hare, 60 in Dalton, and 60 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flanoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Back. The beauty of Chicago is that so much goes on all the time. We've talked earlier in the show with Pam Oliver about her blood drive. You heard just during the break about the read-in that's happening at the Harold Washington Cultural Center. We'll talk more about that later in the show as well. We've got a guest coming on. But I will be at the Alzheimer's Association release the Silence annual African American Community Conference. It's happening on Saturday from 10 to 2:30. The doors open at 9 a.m. at the UIC Forum, which is at 725 West Roosevelt Road. We got joining us this morning, my journey into this issue in this era.
Should be back now.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, there you are. Yeah, Alva, tell us about what your direct experience was when you got to the Release the Silence conference, what the resources were that you found, and how you were able to find community there.
So when I walked in the door, there was these amazing volunteers that welcomed myself as well as my cousin. There were vendor tables, everything from city and state services to healthcare organizations, hospitals, home healthcare, anything that you could imagine that you would need to help provide care and comfort to your family member or loved one experiencing Alzheimer's. So it was at least 30 vendors. And then when you stepped into the auditorium, it was all these wonderful, informative workshops, everything from estate planning to caregiver sessions. And then there was actually an overview of the disease. So if you're not familiar with Alzheimer's and dementia, the kickoff to the event literally was a community advocate going through all the symptoms and signs of the disease. And so you leave feeling informed, you leave feeling cared for, meeting other audience members that were in the same situation I was in, and just building community with them because the stories were just so similar. And then at the end, there's breakout groups where you can just kind of sit with the professionals that were on stage presenting in a more intimate setting and ask your own personal questions and continue to build with other attendees at the conference. That was my experience. And I felt so seen and heard through that experience. So that was in 2024. For the last 2 years, I volunteered as a planning committee member. So it inspired me, so I needed to pay it forward by seeing what I could do to help.
Event help me with the knowledge there and help us as we kind of get through it. But so important are the concerns and the thoughts about the caretakers, which is really what you get at this conference. So again, go to alzillinois.org. I hope to see you at one of these places on Saturday. There's a lot going on to really be helpful for the WVON community. Albert Kennedy, thank you so much for all that you're doing, and thanks for coming on this morning to share your testimony with us as well.
All right, thank you. It was an honor and a privilege. Take care.
No, we so appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Let's find out from Annette what's in the headlines. We'll be back with more right after this.
60 degrees and turning sunny and 80 on this Thursday, April 23rd, 2026. I'm Annette Flournoy. Again, in the headlines, the Chicago Public School Board is set to meet later today and will discuss the confusion over May Day. Meanwhile, a few parents are even talking about taking legal action over the matter. In about an hour from now, Ravinia tickets go on sale for more than 100 concerts scheduled for this summer, including Chicago's own Chance the Rapper and legendary singer Gladys Knight. And today's headlines are powered by our friends at ComEd. Bring the young people in your life, 6 to 16, to the Chicago Read-In, 11 a.m. till 2 this Saturday, April 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center at 47th King Drive. It's about culture, it's about literacy and storytelling, and it's free. National news from the Black Information Network is next. on the Voice of a Nation and the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON AM, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 8 o'clock.
BIN News Now. House Republican leaders are speaking out for the first time on recent sexual misconduct scandals involving lawmakers. Speaker Mike Johnson called the cases a wake-up call, saying ethics rules should be reviewed.
Have to protect women and anyone who feels like there's any inappropriate behavior whatsoever.
Former Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez resigned amid allegations involving a former staffer. California State Controller Betty Yee has dropped out of the race for governor. The Democrat cited a crowded field and the need for party unity as she exited the contest, reshaping the early landscape of the race. And Chicago's annual Cinco de Mayo parade has been canceled amid fears tied to President Trump's immigration enforcement policies. Organizers say safety concerns for participants and attendees led to the decision, calling it a difficult but necessary move for the community. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Back to Terry McCready.
The White House says it's waiting to hear back from the current Iranian regime as peace talks remain at a standstill. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said yesterday that U.S. officials want to hear a unified response after most of the regime's top leaders were killed in the early days of Operation Epic Fury.
There's a lot of internal division over there. The president understands that, and so we await their response.
President Trump has extended the current ceasefire. Leavitt said Iran's Navy has been reduced to a bunch of pirates using small swift boats to seize defenseless tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. A Virginia judge is blocking the state from certifying the results of the redistricting referendum. Virginia voters approving the plan, which could expand the Democratic Party's 6-5 advantage in the Commonwealth's congressional delegation to 10-1, which also helps fuel Black political power and representation. This voter explaining why she made the effort to come out to the polls.
It's my constitutional right to vote today, to voice my opinion. And the only way to do so is by getting out and voting all the time that you can.
Now, a judge is ruling the referendum was unconstitutional. Virginia's Attorney General vowing to appeal the decision. Two previous efforts to block the referendum have been struck down by the Virginia Supreme Court. This comes after President Trump claimed the vote was rigged when a massive mail-in ballot drop shifted the odds in favor of Democrats. A bipartisan group of senators is rolling out the Hot Rotisserie Chicken Act. The measure aims to help Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or SNAP recipients use their benefits to buy rotisserie chicken. This would amend the 2008 Food and Nutrition Act by modifying the definition of food to add hot rotisserie chicken. According to a joint statement about the bill from Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman's office, it would not increase funding or SNAP participant eligibility. Current legislation does not allow hot prepared foods, only cooled but cooked rotisserie chicken for purchase. 26% of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program participants identify as Black or African American. South Africa's inflation rate ticked up a bit in March, but remains relatively low overall. Annual consumer inflation rose to 3.1%, up from 3% in February. Statistics South Africa says on a monthly basis, prices increased by 0.6%, with housing, utilities, food, and financial services as the major drivers for the surge. Among more than a dozen spending categories were transportation, education, and restaurants. Tuition fees climbing by 5.4% this year, with private education seeing the sharpest rise at 7.5%. Transportation costs are down 1.6% compared to a year ago, although the pace is slowing. Officials say the data was collected before April's fuel price increases, with food inflation cooling slightly to 3.6%. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow VIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
This report is brought to you by Staples. Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
April is STI Awareness Month, and the Chicago Department of Public Health reminds you taking care of your sexual health is important at all stages and ages of life. Making your sexual health a priority is vital to your overall health plan. Even if you're not sexually active, it's still important to check in on your body. If you are sexually active, no matter if you're 17 or 70, getting tested regularly for STIs is one of the best ways to protect yourself and your partners. In Chicago, nearly half of all new STI cases are among young people under the age of 25, and LGBTQ plus communities continue to be disproportionately impacted by HIV. Testing and prevention equal knowledge and power. CDPH's sexual health clinics in Roseland, Lakeview, and Austin offer free, confidential STI and HIV testing and treatment, as well as free condoms and over-the-counter pregnancy tests. Visit chicago.gov/sexual health for more information.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Hey, it's Cleopatra Draper. Join me for the Midday Show weekdays at 9 a.m. where we'll sip and spill all the tea. Do you want it hot or cold? Either way, we're serving up the flavor of the day. Weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on the station giving you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON.
Protect your money and build your wealth. Sundays at 3 p.m. Host and owners of Top & Top Insurance Agency, Clydell and Betty Top, teach you about protecting your assets, 401ks, annuities, life after retirement, the differences and benefits of life insurance, and they take questions. Their advice can enhance your financial future and your legacy. Call for a free WVON financial consultation, 773-881-8110. Tune in Sundays at 3 p.m. to protect your money and build your wealth. Powered by Top & Top Insurance Agency.
This report is brought to you by Capital One Bank. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts, and most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, NA member, FDIC.
WVON traffic and weather now.
There's a lot happening on the inbound side of the Ryan. 10 minutes ago, the inbound Ryan was shut down completely from 95th Street to 75th due to that earlier accident at Marquette. That accident was involving a car and a semi. Apparently, there was fuel on the roadways that had to be cleaned. That accident has been removed off to the side. Your lanes have now reopened, traffic back on the move. We haven't even gotten a new travel times because things are pretty solid in that area. Taking a look at our weather, we're expected to see a plenty of sunshine today. The National Weather Service says temperatures are expected to climb right around 80 degrees, sunny and breezy and warm. Tonight, 50. Right now, we're up to 62 degrees at O'Hare. It's 62 in Inglewood and 62 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON, honoring 63 years and building what's next.
The Chicago Blues Festival is more than a festival. It's a celebration of culture, rhythm, and legacy. We'll see you in Millennium Park June 4th through the 7th. We're WVON.
I'll play the blues with you.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Rufus Williams on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
You wonder how I do it. It's just one simple rule. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Hey. R-U-F-U-S. What's that spell? R-U-F-U-S. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Sing it, baby. R-U-F-U-S. What's that stand? R-U-F-U-S. That spell cool. The audio genius. The audio genius. The audio genius.
Welcome back. Hey, folks, let me tell you, you don't want to miss this. It's happening tomorrow night. It is the WVON night at the Black Ensemble Theater. The award-winning Jackie Wilson story is back, and believe you me, the show will have you on your feet, singing, dancing, living your best life. You've heard it here. You've heard it all week. You'll hear more as the day goes on. But the tickets are available, but they're going fast. It's tomorrow night. You're already ready to the last minute if you don't have them. And if you don't get there, you are going to regret it. Don't wait anymore. Get to blackensemble.theater.org. Order your tickets. Atiba Buchanan, LaDonna Raeh, they'll be hosting WVON show tomorrow night. We're partying, y'all. WVON is 63, and we're still having fun. So make sure you get there. The Jackie Wilson story at the Black Ensemble Theater, Friday, April 24th. The tickets are moving fast. blackensemble.theater.org. Let's continue this morning. A lot going on, and I'm excited to have my next guest join. It is Holly Bradshaft White. She is the Chief Clinical Officer at SHFT Behavioral Health. She was on with us last year, but they've got some new developments. And man, I got to tell you, if we ever needed them, we need them now. Holly, welcome back to WVON.
Rufus, thank you so much. It's great to be back.
No, thank you for being back. I mean, it wasn't anything planned, but there's so much that's happening that's involving mental health in this moment. It just feels like this is a place that we need to spend a lot of time. But remind us about SHFT Behavioral Health and what you have pulled together there.
Sure, and I agree. It is quite a time for additional mental health services. Thank you for that. So SHFT, we opened back in November. We are the city's first urgent care for mental health. Essentially, we are a safe alternative to the emergency department, and even just for like less significant needs, mental health needs for people, open 7 days a week, and we serve ages 5 and up. We wanted a different space, a space that could feel warm and inviting and kind of emotionally safe and alternative to a hospital environment for people who are looking for support in the moment.
Now, when we think about emergency mental health, what does it mean? How do we see it? What we've seen, and I mentioned it at the top, and just to be clear, we have had events very recently where we've lost lives to people who clearly were dealing with some mental health issues, and it became violent, and here we are. So when is it that people would know that they need to reach out to you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think what I love most about what we're doing is we can certainly support individuals who are going through kind of very urgent and more high-risk situations. But I honestly think that part of the best part of like intervention and prevention is catching signs and symptoms early on. That's just where everything starts, So sometimes that could look like just having a hard day, getting into an argument with a partner or a dispute with a work coworker, something like that. It can really just be these small moments that build up. And a lot of what we're doing is trying to bring attention to and offer a space that, you don't have to be having the worst day ever and have something unsafe happen. We have people who come in for our services that just want a place to vent to a neutral party or get advice or find additional resources. And I think that sort of like preventative approach just makes for more sustainable change ultimately, which is exciting because there's not really anything like that where you can walk in the same day and talk to, a licensed therapist and get feedback or get support, whatever that might look like.
Indeed. You've got some updates I want to talk about, but I have to ask you this other big question, which is, Holly, what is going on? Is it that we've become more aware of mental health? Is the world just gotten meaner? Is it all that's happening there that's causing people to be less tolerant of one another? Or what's going on?
Rufus, that sounds like $1 million question. I wish I had the one answer, the one solution, but I don't know. I think the world is going through a tough time. I mean, I certainly think that the more we look to what's happening, whether it's in, social media or politics or that's really triggering for people. I think it's hard to make sense of, there's, like you're saying, a lot of events that have been happening as of late that are kind of especially alarming and disheartening and distressing. I think, there has been a growing awareness for the need for mental health intervention. And I think just an openness to recognizing, okay, there's something going on. We need more support. How can we be more open? I think that people are just struggling to manage their own situations. And when things happen kind of in silence or in isolation, I think that just escalates things more. People are trying to manage on their own without getting support, which can be overwhelming. I think it can just become a snowball effect until we see some of, I think what we've all seen in the news. So.
Indeed. I want to talk about the updates. We need to take a quick break. But before we even do that, how do people connect with you at Shift Behavioral Health?
Yeah, I would say the best place to find us or to connect would be from our website. That's www.shiftbh.com. No I in shift, so SHFTBH.com. We have a lot of good information on there about our services, why we're doing what we're doing, who works for us, what their backgrounds are, and of course, how to book appointments, which are available both online or by phone.
Great. We're talking with Holly Brandcraft-White. She is the Chief Clinical Officer at Shift Behavioral Health. We've had some shifts as well for the good, and we'll talk about that when we come back right after this.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region and, more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work. Because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on WVON 1690, the talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
This spring, August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom comes to the Goodman. It's 1927 Chicago. Ma Rainey, the mother of the blues, and her band are recording an album, but tensions build to one of the most heart-stopping endings in theater. Ife Butler stars, with Chuck Smith and Harry J. Lennox directing the play called A Genuine American Masterpiece. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is extended through May 3rd. Tickets at goodmantheater.org.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-295-6576. 800-295-6576.
Living in the hood is not a curse, it's an opportunity. It's your block, your opportunity, and our movement. Join me, Dr. Roe Davis, every Saturday on WVON 1690 from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. as I help renters become homeowners and homeowners become investors. That's every Saturday on WVON.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's has the brands pros trust to get the job done. Get 10% off new Catalyst fencing solutions when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a select DeWalt miter saw. Valid through May 6th. While supplies last, selection vary by location.
WVON traffic and weather now.
That inbound trip along the Ryan, 33 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. As you make your way along the Bishop 4, we're now looking at just about 17 minutes in from I-8094, heavy right around 115th Street, then stop and go all the way in. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, still that 21-minute trip in. Things are heavier along DuSable Lakeshore Drive. You're up to 22 minutes from 67th Street to Jackson, Hollywood to Monroe, a 20-minute trip, heaviest from Irving Park Road to Fullerton. The inbound side of the Stevenson, still about an hour from I-355 to DuSable Drive, outbound a 50-minute trip. The Eisenhower jam-packed. You're looking at almost an hour 10. And from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, that outbound trip will take you an hour. The Kennedy still almost 55 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport, a slow-moving 54 minutes. Taking a look at our weather. Turning breezy today, warm and sunny. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high right around 80 degrees. We're in the 60s now, 62 at O'Hare. 65 in Inglewood, and 65 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Choose to go, it won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life.
Welcome back. We're talking with Holly Branchaff White. She is the Chief Clinical Officer at Shift Behavioral Health. Talked about a number of things coming into the break, but you've got some updates. When we talked last year, Holly, you were serving people between the ages of 10 and 30. That's changed. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that has changed, and we're really excited about it. We were seeing a need and request from parents of younger kids to open things up, and that's something that we are happy and able to do. Our team of therapists is really well-versed, actually, in younger children. So right now we're serving ages 5 and up. We're really proud to have somebody who's age 8 in our care, and then we have somebody who's age 66 in our care, which is amazing. So I think that just shows the range of need and interest. And we also opened up to being in network with insurance, which is really, really exciting, especially and most importantly from an access standpoint. So we're currently in network with Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, and United Insurance, and then coming up next month, very soon, I can't believe it, Cigna in May as well.
It's fantastic. I have to ask, though, how do you know for a child as young as 5 years old, it seems that there's a lot that they're learning, a lot that they're experiencing. When does a parent believe that that child might need some help from a service like what you provide?
Yeah, that's also a good one. Rufus, have you done this for a little bit? That's a good question. For younger kids, that could look like just behavior changes, and even subtle ones. If somebody is maybe, and this honestly goes across the age range, but for younger kids, it could be maybe disruption in sleep. It could be kids being more irritable, talking back, maybe more withdrawn, acting out in school. Usually that's a really solid indicator that a kid could use some additional support, and sometimes having a new face, somebody outside of the home, outside of school, just to kind of spend time with them, get a better feel for what might be going on. It could be through play therapy. That's a really big one for young kids. It's a good way to kind of get into their minds and connect. But I would definitely rely on behavior changes as like one of the biggest indicators that a child could use additional support.
Yeah, and undoubtedly, if you can get it under control early, then it makes life go easier from every point from there.
Absolutely.
In addition to that, you've got what has been the challenges that people have had the most with dealing with your services? So often people don't know what's covered by insurance, what's not. Has cost been an issue for people, and what have you all done, and what have you been able to do to impact that?
Yeah. So we had a lot of people calling in. I mean, I think just like you're saying, getting information about what we're doing as a new service and honestly like a new model of care, because this is the first of its kind in Chicago. So a lot of what we're doing is focusing on the kind of educational piece of why somebody would seek services with us, how we might be helpful to them. I would say that's the biggest thing that comes up. And then the first part of your question is escaping me. I think I just got excited about what I was.
That's okay. I got a lot of stuff going on around me too, so I certainly understand. But I just asked about the challenges that people have. What do you find to be the biggest barriers that they encounter in trying to get to your care?
Yeah. Thank you for that. That's a good question. I think that as far as barriers, I mean, some of it honestly is just the like emotional readiness that somebody has to find help, to seek help. I think that that's a big part of it. Like we have a lot of people who express curiosity, but maybe aren't quite ready to come in, and we totally understand that. We have an open door 7 days a week, and we try to make it very clear that somebody can just come in and again ask questions and try to get a better feel for things. We do single sessions, which is one thing that is helpful. So we have one service that is called a chat, where somebody could come in just to talk, to vent, to get advice, to get perspective. There's no commitment about it. We've had plenty of people come in to talk about, a breakup with a partner, or stress preparing for an exam in school and wanting, some advice on how to manage that. And so I think that offering kind of one session at a time feels a little bit more digestible for people. And then, of course, we do offer sliding scale for our services. So we're in network with insurance, which is helpful. And we offer sliding scale rates as well, because, of course, even with insurance, and certainly without it, cost is always a barrier for people.
So we've had, and we talked not directly, but we've had incidents. And I think about the Deer family. I think about the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, this man who killed his children down in Shreveport, Louisiana. These things, when these things happen, we know because they've hit that ultimate point. Is there anything you can tell us that helps us identify when we're getting close to the bridge, or what should happen? You began, when we began the conversation, saying certainly early prevention is the best way to deal with that. But how do we know, what do we do when we see someone near us or even us getting close to that line? What is it that we should or can do?
Yeah, I think this is a hard one, because I know for myself for many years, like it feels difficult, I think, to approach people. You don't want to encroach, you don't want to air dirty laundry, you want to respect privacy. And I can certainly, understand that. I think that it doesn't really have to be some big grand gesture. We don't have to jump to calling police or, calling family members to notify them, if you're witnessing something. It can be really as simple as just checking in and say, hey, I was thinking about you, or I saw that this happened recently, like I'm just checking in. And I think that really opens the door to kind of a lighter touch, a lighter conversation that maybe doesn't feel quite as alarming or invasive. And then I think for the person who might be going through something, like the people around you really, the people that love you the most, your family, your friends, your community, want to avail themselves to you. I think it can be hard to do that when people are kind of struggling or managing privately. I know that one thing I noticed quite a bit is we are also accustomed to taking on quite a bit, telling ourselves to power through, that, it will get better. And sometimes that's the case, but sometimes that's not the case. And I think being open as much as we can allow ourselves to be to support, even if that's just going, to a cafe and being surrounded by people so you're not isolated in your home, or going on a walk outside and listening to music that inspires you. I think that there are kind of these bite-sized ways that we can help ourselves and help people in our community that take us a step closer to, maybe like a collective wellness.
Holly Brandcraft White, appreciate what you're doing. It's SHFTBH.com. Shift Behavioral Health, SHFTBH.com. Reach out if you or anybody you know can use the help. They're in network, in a number of networks, so the insurance piece has also been helped since we've last talked. But Holly, I so appreciate the work that you're doing, and thank you so much for coming on with us this morning.
Rufus, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you. Have a beautiful day.
You too. Let's find out from Annette what's going on in the news. When we come back, a conversation with Dr. Stokes, the president of South Suburban College. They've got a lot going on. We'll be back right after this.
66 degrees and turning sunny and 80 today. Good morning. I'm Annette Flournoy, and here's what's happening. The Chicago Public School Board is set to meet today and is set to discuss the confusion over May Day and whether classes will be in session May 1st. Meanwhile, some parents plan to show up at today's meeting with a letter and a lawyer. Perry Williams explains.
This mother says she was left out of the planning process.
They did this without the consent or the input of the parents. That is not only wrong, it is irresponsible and perhaps even illegal.
CPS and the Chicago Teachers Union have reached an agreement that schools will stay open on May 1st. Teachers and students will be able to volunteer to take part in May Day pro-workers rallies. I'm Perry Williams.
Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is celebrating a victory over the Trump administration. He announced that the lawsuits his office filed challenging unlawful overreach by the federal government allows Illinois to keep more than $8 billion for critical programs and services across the state. He says his office has filed 63 lawsuits challenging the actions of the Trump administration since January 2025, with 93% having received a decision in the state's favor. Well, it's a big day for the NFL and football fans. Today is draft day. Round 1 kicks off tonight in Pittsburgh. Chicago is set to choose 25th in the first round. The Bears have 7 picks total, including 4 in the top 89. Now, Soldier Field is set for a big Bears draft party takeover, turning draft night into a full-scale fan experience starting at 6. And you don't want to miss WVON's night at the Jackie Wilson Story tomorrow, Friday, April 24th at the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark Street. This outstanding history-making production delivers a soulful tribute to Mr. Excitement. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 8:34.
I know you're going to dig this.
Yeah, I was saying this earlier. I said when my people don't like something, they just remove it.
Or change it.
Yeah, they that's what they do. But where was the dude that was redacting stuff during the Puffy trial? I'm like, there was some stuff I didn't need to know. Like rubbing somebody's manhood on your chest. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
I might forgive you, but you'll never be able to drink nothing yellow ever again. Not ever.
Lemonade.
Not lemonade, not apple juice. Damn sure not that soda called Squirt. That could never happen. It is the D.L. Hughley Show.
Experience the power, passion, and breathtaking athleticism of Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater live at the Auditorium April 24th through the 26th under the direction of newly appointed artistic director Alicia Graff Mack. 1 legendary dance company, 2 unforgettable programs, 3 spectacular days, and 4 incredible performances. From powerful storytelling to electrifying movement, enjoy Ailey's 5 Chicago premieres, contemporary favorites, and beloved masterpieces. Tickets are on sale now at auditoriumtheater.org. Secure your seats today.
WVON turned 63 years young in April, and we're celebrating all month long.
Well, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Ooh, wee.
Join us for WVON Night at the Black Ensemble Theater on Friday, April 24th, for the return of the award-winning play, The Jackie Wilson Story. This electrifying production will have you singing and dancing in the aisles as the Black Ensemble brings this musical legend to life. His voice, his moves, his music. It changed everything from Jackie Wilson's Lonely Teardrops to Higher and Higher. It's more than a musical. It's a theatrical experience. Join WVON's afternoon personalities, Atiwa Buchanan and me, LaDonna Raeh, as we host WVON Night at the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark, Friday, April 24th.
Get your tickets now at blackensembletheater.org or click the Black Ensemble banner at WVON.com.
WVON is 63 and still having fun.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
CTA is coming to WVON, Sundays 7 p.m., not the train. Call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green, the easiest way to get a golf course quality lawn. Don't wait. Sign up at truegreen.com and get your first application for $9.95. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Right now, we're in the thick of things. As you make your way along the inbound Ryan, you're looking at a slow-moving 32-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop Ford will take you just about 17 minutes in from I-8094, slow from 115th Street all the way in. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial just bumped up to 23 minutes in from I-80. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, no changes there. Still heavy, though. 22 minutes from 67th Street to Jackson. Hollywood to Monroe will take you just about 20 minutes still. If you're on the inbound side of the Stevenson, you do want to look out for a disabled vehicle is blocking the right lane at Ashland. Your travel time still at around an hour from I-355 to DuSable Drive 50 traveling out. Inbound side of the Eisenhower just bumped up to almost an hour 15 from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip will still take you an hour. And if you're on the Kennedy, still almost 55 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport, a slow-moving 54 minutes. We're seeing some clear skies. The National Weather Service says temperatures are expected to reach right around 80 degrees today and turning breezy. Tonight, 50. We're up to 66 at O'Hare, is 66 in Madison, and 66 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. I am happy this morning to invite back to WVON Dr. Stokes. She is the president of South Suburban College. They've got a lot going on there and a lot coming up. Dr. Stokes, welcome back to WVON.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's wonderful to have you. Remind us of the programming and what you do out there at South Suburban College.
Sure, my pleasure. We are a 2-year community college, and we offer the traditional associate's and associate degrees, 5 different pathways: associate of science, associate of arts, engineering, applied science, particularly in nursing, and our associates in general studies. We have approximately 4,000 students per semester, and we also offer support services. I heard you talking with your previous guest about the things that are going on in the world and addressing mental health issues. One of the things we offer here at the college also is a wellness center. We have a licensed clinical professional because we know that to be successful academically, we also have to address those wraparound services and the other things that students need to be successful in the classroom. So we have a lot going on. You are absolutely correct here at South Suburban College, very proud institution, and we service our students well.
Yeah, bless you so much for doing that. And I know being where you are, actually, no educational institution is receiving enough resources now. When you add in things like a wellness center, how do you support the efforts that are going on there at your college?
We make it an institutional commitment. We do get some state funding for, excuse me, mental health wellness. As you may know, it's a state mandate in law that we have to provide those services, but it is very limited resources. And so that's where the institution and our board makes a commitment to support students who need those kinds of services, a safe place to come and talk, to meditate. We also have a clothes closet for those students who need to prepare for interviews. We have a food pantry for those food insecurities. But you are absolutely correct that the resources are slim, and so it becomes an institutional priority. And so we will find the resources. We seek grant opportunities. We seek donations. We partner with the Chicago Greater Food Depository. We partner with our various municipalities. We lean and rely a great deal on our elected officials. So support comes in many ways, and we accept and receive them all for our students.
Fantastic. What are your students generally?
I'm sorry, repeat that question. Kind of faded out a little bit.
Yeah, what do your students generally come from?
They're coming from we're school district 510. And so we have 21 municipalities within our region. We're in the middle of Markham, South Holland, Lansing, Calumet City. Those are some of the areas that our students come from. So again, there are 21 municipalities, and we're underserved community, predominantly our African American serving population with the rising Hispanic population, but our median income for this community is below the poverty level. So we're serving students and families that really need access to a quality education that's affordable to help them meet the economic needs of their family. So get them a quality education, a degree or a certificate pathway that leads right into a credential of value that leads right into the workforce industry. We have pathways, our cosmetology and barbering program, where students within less than 2 years complete a program and can go right into the industry making upwards of $60,000 a year. And then they still are coming back into the community and working within the community. So it's just not economic viability for their household, but economic viability and progress within the community.
It's fantastic. And I mentioned or asked about resources that support you. You also do some things internally to try and help provide some greater resources. You've got a gala coming up this weekend. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. We have our annual scholarship gala, which we're really excited about. It is this Saturday. It's at the Odyssey Country Club. And every year we have this scholarship, and we have goals of raising anywhere from 80 to $150,000, and we're well on our way to that goal. For example, and it's really important because last year alone we gave out over $143,000 in scholarships to 85 students who are very deserving. Now, why is the importance of that? Because the scholarships could be really life-changing, meaningful. So those students, when you just don't have enough in financial aid, they don't have enough resources, they may just need books, supplies, computers, but those scholarships help with offsetting those costs. And more importantly, it allows the students to continue with their academic journey. So yes, we have our scholarship gala this weekend. You can go to the website, the South Suburban College website, to find out a little bit more about it. And the community, if they're not able to attend the gala, there are still ways to make contributions through our QR code, which is indicated on the website.
Fantastic. And the gala is going to be this Saturday, April 25th at the Odyssey Country Club in Tinley Park, beginning at 5 o'clock. When we start to look at, and I do understand the challenges that exist financially for students trying to get to college, and I understand that many of us do. So even there at your college, there's still challenges that people have. You've given some great information about how we can participate, either coming to the gala or participate even if you're not coming to the gala, with the scholarships that you've given out, which seem to be really important. Dr. Stokes, so your students mostly do they go to work after they leave you? Do they go to four-year colleges? Is there a mix of everything?
There's
What tends
actually
to
a really
happen
good,
when they finish you with a degree?
yes, there's actually a pretty good mix of different pathways. At the community colleges, we will always offer the Associates of Science and Associates of Arts degree. Those are the degrees that are the stepping stone where students transition to a four-year institution, right? And then we offer those other, what we consider like terminal degrees, like the associate's degree in nursing, where they get the 2-year degree, they sit for the state license, and they can go directly into the workforce. And in that field, they can make upwards of nearly $100,000 a year, depending on it, whether they're in a hospital setting. We also have the Associate Applied Science degrees. That's we have an occupational therapy program. We have a pharmacy tech program, and those degrees, again, the student can go directly into the allied health field and make anywhere from $60,000 to $70,000 a year. We have the associate's degree in legal studies. We have a paralegal program. So we have multiple pathways. It's just not transferring to a four-year institution, but it's going right into the workforce. And then we also have something called stackable degrees. So someone can come in and get their basic nursing certificates, like for a CNA, and they can go right into the workforce. But the great thing about the CNA certificate is because it's a stackable credential, when they want to come back for the associate's degree in nursing, that is one of the prerequisite requirements. But they can get that basic nursing certificate, go right into the workforce, work and earn an income, a livable wage, and then come back to school and still work on the associate degree in nursing. So multiple opportunities and pathways where students can feel good about themselves and feel some level of achievement, whether it's a stackable degree or going right into the associate's pathway.
Indeed, a gem right there in the Southland, South Suburban College. Check them out. They've got their gala coming up at the Odyssey Country Club this Saturday, boots on the ground. Doc, thank you so much for coming on with us, and thanks for all the work that you do out there in the South Suburbs and moving us along. We so appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. And if anybody has any additional questions, they can also call us at 708-596-2000. Thank you so much for having me on this morning. Have a wonderful remainder of the day.
You do the same. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, a conversation with Chicago's own tap dance kid, Brill. Barrett. He's participating, he and his group, in the Chicago Read-In. We'll be back right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
WVON turned 63 years young in April, and we're celebrating all month long.
Well, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Ooh-wee.
Join us for WVON Night at the Black Ensemble Theater on Friday, April 24th for the return of the award-winning play, The Jackie Wilson Story. This electrifying production will have you singing and dancing in the aisles as the Black Ensemble brings this musical legend to life. His voice, his moves, his music, it changed everything from Jackie Wilson's Lonely Teardrops to Higher and Higher. It's more than a musical. It's a theatrical experience. Join the afternoon show's personalities, that be me, Atiba Buchanan, and LaDonna Raeh, as we host WVON Night at the Black Ensemble Theater, 4450 North Clark, Friday, April 24th.
Get your tickets now at blackensembletheater.org or click the Black Ensemble banner at WVON.com.
WVON is 63 and still having fun.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-295-6576. 800-295-6576.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're starting with the inbound side of the Stevenson right now. You're looking at almost an hour 15 in from I-355 to DuSable Drive. A couple things happening there. We're looking at a stalled vehicle blocking the center lane at Pulaski Road. Also a stalled vehicle in the right lane at Ashland. Taking a look at the outbound side of the Stevenson, almost a 50-minute trip traveling out. Turning to the Ryan, still a slow-moving 32 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. The Bishop 4, 17 minutes in from I-80-94 to the Ryan. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, a 23-minute trip in from I-80. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, still pretty slow from 67th Street to Jackson, still about a 22-minute trip. Hollywood to Monroe, also 22 now. As you make your way along the Eisenhower, almost an hour 10 there from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, outbound a slow-moving hour. If you're on the Kennedy, you're looking at almost an hour there from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport. A slight improvement, but still heavy at 52 minutes. Taking a look at our weather, turning sunny today and breezy and warm as temperatures climb near 80. We're looking at 67 at O'Hare, 67 in Avalon Park, and 67 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Welcome back, folks. This one's for the culture. Make sure you join us on Saturday, April 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Harold Washington Cultural Center for the Chicago Read-In. It's a powerful celebration of literacy, creativity, and family. Our very own Cleopatra Draper is hosting this event, and this will feature incredible performances from the Hipley Ballerinas, the blues man Fernando Jones, and more. This is where stories come alive, sparking imagination for all ages. It's free, but it's important that you register. Get your tickets now at eventbrite.com and bring the entire family. On that note, joining us this morning is none other than Chicago's very own tap dance kid. He is the proprietor, the founder, the teacher there at Mad Rhythms Tap Academy. It's none other than Brill Barrett. Brill, good morning and welcome to WVON.
Good morning. Good morning. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, it is an honor for you to be here, Mr. Westside Man, now doing your thing on the South Side. Brill, talk to I'm not going to let you escape that. Brill and I have a long history going back to BBF, the Better Boys Foundation over on the West Side.
Absolutely.
So, Brill, you're still doing this with Mad Rhythms, so you'll be there, still teaching and still entertaining. Talk to people about what they can expect from your performance there at the Chicago Read-In at the Cultural Center on Saturday.
Well, let's see. Let's start with the fact that Mad Rhythms, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary, so this is a special year for us.
Wow.
And on top of that, I've always been a reader. My mom loved reading and raised me around books, and I always read books. So the Chicago Read-In is the perfect, I guess you would say, experience for those who love reading and to connect reading with the other things that we do and love in our lives. And for me, that's tap dance, which is why I started Mad Rhythms. And it's also why I became the artistic director over at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, to be able to spread the joy and the love of tap dance to all those, especially those who don't always have access. So the Chicago Read-In is a very lovely, beautiful, entertaining way to connect the two. And I have one of my young proteges, Mr. Daniel Trey Lee. He's going to be doing a tap piece, improvisational tap dance connected to the poem Inner City Blues. So literally, it's how we marry literacy with rhythm.
And bro, talk a bit more about that, because I know that you've not only been a teacher of dance, but you've been an instructor in so many ways. And so often, just as you mentioned this particular performance on Inner City Blues, you've often combined what was happening in culture, what's happening in society, and the lessons that should happen in history with your teachings of dance. Talk more about what you do, why, and how you make that happen.
Well, I believe that, of course, the arts is a beautiful way to exercise our emotions, to deal with social activism and social justice. And for some reason, for a long time, a lot of people didn't think of tap in that way. They thought of tap dance in a more performative way, a more show way, a more smiling performance way, when tap dance can be used to express extreme, deeply held beliefs and values. And so what part of my life's mission has been to show people how that is possible, to teach young people how to use the arts as an outlet for expressing themselves, and hopefully avoid, using any negative aspects of what society has to offer to express themselves. We use tap dance, and it allows you to open yourself up and to submit to something. And for us, it's the art form, the rhythm, the dance, the history, the culture. Once you start studying the history, and this is where there's lots of books written about tap dancers, but I always encourage my young dancers, start with reading the books written by the dancers themselves, or written and co-authored by the dancers themselves, because then you get a peek into their souls. And so part of our tap history and tap education is also learning to read certain books by tap dancers that they've published over the years, and it gives us a window into their lives in their own words. And then we take that and we apply that to how we approach the world we live in today.
Bro, how difficult is it for someone to learn tap dancing?
I always say anybody who can put on shoes can tap dance, but we've all got it buried. We got rhythm buried somewhere deep within us. Some people, it's buried deeper than others. So some people get in, and as soon as they put the shoes on, there's a connection, and they start to make it. Some people, it takes a while, but that's why I love teaching, because I love finding new and creative ways to dig deep into that inner child that has always wanted to tap dance, and we bring it out. So, it varies from each person. Well, I think I lost you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm here.
All right, Brill, it's just another reason for folks to make sure that they show up for the read-in on Saturday. It's going to be phenomenal. Brill is phenomenal in what he does. He said as easy as it is to teach someone how to tap, I'm not sure why he never taught me. I know how to put shoes on, but that's a whole other conversation, Brill, that we need to have.
All right, we can do that.
Bro, you've been saying that now for 15, at least 15 years. So I'm going to hold you to it this time. Thank you so much, Bro, for all that you're doing. And thanks for coming. And congratulations on being artistic director. Sorry, I didn't know that. But that's wonderful, and a wonderful use of your talents as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I appreciate you. We're going to leave it right there for today, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you get out to the Chicago Read-In. Be certain to go on and get these tickets for Jackie Wilson. It's going to be phenomenal tomorrow night, and you do not want to miss it. They're going fast. Jump on now. Take care of that. Annette, appreciate you always for giving us the information that gets us through the day. And Titus, thanks for keeping all these things together, even when my power goes out down here in New Iberia, Louisiana. I am down here. I have to tell you all about this wonderful cafe I went to yesterday, Church Alley. Tell you about it tomorrow. In the meantime, Titus, again, thank you for pulling all these things together. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask you, as I always do, as you go through the course of the day, you will come across people who are dealing with things that you know absolutely nothing about. So please be kind, always. And with that, Annette, tell us what's in the headlines. And T-Dub, take us home.
68 degrees turning sunny and 80 on this Thursday, April 23rd, 2026. I'm Annette Fernley, and in the headlines, early morning problems on the outbound Bishop Ford, which was shut down for a while following a shooting near 111th Street. Apparently one person was wounded. The Chicago Public School Board is set to meet today and will discuss the confusion over May Day and whether classes will be in session May 1st. Meanwhile, a few parents are talking about taking legal action over the matter. And Ravinia tickets are now on sale for more than 100 concerts scheduled for this summer, including Chicago's own Chance the Rapper and legendary singer Gladys Knight. Today's headlines are powered by our friends at ComEd. Be sure to bring the young people in your life 6 to 16 to the Chicago Read-In, 11 a.m. till 2 this Saturday, April 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center at 47 The King Drive. It's about culture, it's about literacy and storytelling, and it's free. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the Voice of a Nation and the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON AM, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 9:03.
PIN News Now. House Republican leaders are speaking out for the first time on recent sexual misconduct scandals involving lawmakers. Speaker Mike Johnson